Welcome to How to Run Profitable Retreats podcast, the podcast that guides you not to only host retreats that thrive financially, but also transform people's lives. I'm your host, Lainey Cavazos, and each week I bring you the best strategies and personal insights to help you create retreat experiences that transform lives, both your clients and your own. In our journey together, we'll dive into the secrets behind successful retreats, from crafting a unique atmosphere to mastering the logistics that ensure profitability. Whether you're tuning in for inspiring interviews with leading retreat experts or seeking actionable advice in our solo episodes, this podcast is your go-to resource for turning your retreat visions into reality. Don't miss out on any of our episodes and subscribe now. For more tools and a free guide on creating your own six-figure retreat business, visit theretreatplanner.com. Now let's get started and make your retreat dreams come true. All right, so this is what we're looking to achieve with loyalty marketing. Yeah, emotions, feelings, connection. That's why the power of loyalty marketing goes beyond any other type of marketing. Yeah. Listen to this again. The power of loyalty marketing goes beyond any other type of marketing. And today I'm not going to throw so many numbers, just two numbers that I think are very, very important. First one is loyal customers spend 67% more than non-loyal customers across board. 67% more. I want to ask you, do you know the cost of your client acquisition currently? How much does it cost you to actually get a client today? How many hours, let's say, if you budget yourself by hours, how many hours do you actually invest in getting a new client? Any givers or takers? Like, there's no wrong answers, no right answers. But really, the cost of acquisition can be 2 to 3 hours. So if you were spending, Teresa, in what would you be spending those 2 or 3 hours, amazing hours in your life? In anything, it doesn't need to be about business, but what would you do with these 2 or 3 hours extra of time in your life? Would you go to the park? Would you spend more time with your kids? Would you maybe dust the house? Maybe not. All right. So if you think about it, this time that you're spending, play the piano, travel, absolutely amazing, right? You would move your body. Yes, definitely not dusting. But the reality is that if we have what it's called retention of our customers, we are reducing the cost of new client acquisition. Because what happens a lot of the times is we're like, oh yes, I am getting new clients. But if you're losing a client, the reality is that you're just replacing the client. Does that make sense? Is that clear? So let's say you have I have 3 spots for one-on-one coaching each month. Someone finishes and then I go, I get a new client and that client takes over the client that finished, right? So I'm actually not getting any new clients, not getting any additional revenue. I'm just covering someone that left already. What would happen if I actually kept that client, because they will spend more time with you, right? And then I get another client on top. And maybe it's not a one-on-one client, but maybe it's a group client. And then that client stays on and they want one-on-one sessions with me. Does that make more sense in the space of growing a sustainable business for the future? Type a yes in the chat or a no if you feel it doesn't really make sense. Yes. Okay, perfect. Heck yeah. So that's why loyalty marketing is the motherboard of marketing. At least for me, yeah. And I am so passionate about loyalty marketing because really, 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 it makes a huge difference because you can save up so much time of your life, energy, money. It's just across the board. It's amazing. And it's actually quite simple to build a loyalty marketing strategy in this space. And I will teach you a few things today on how you can start implementing that inside of your business. Now, as I go through it, you might see oh, well, yes, that's great, but maybe I need to go deeper into the space and get something a little bit more personalized and something where I can really understand it. How does that work for my business? And that's why at the end, I will offer you an opportunity to work with me. So Stay on, because this is about to get super, super good. All right. So that the last number of the day. Yesterday, we spoke about business trends. The latest numbers from Coach Rank actually say that 96% of people who hire coaches repeat the process. Why would you want these 96% of people to go elsewhere? They can stay with you? Of course, as long as they need you, right? It's not about just keeping them for the sake of keeping them until it's like, this is not like therapy that you have to be there for 20 years, right? That's the whole point of coaching. It's faster, it's quicker. But if you have them for 3 months and then they jump off and you never offer them an opportunity to continue to work with you, you might be losing a client, and very, very likely you're losing a client. Tell me here, who has finished like a group program or a one-on-one coaching or a retreat, and you didn't offer them a way to keep working with you? Yeah, Charisse. Anyone else? I've done it. At the beginning, I was just like, oh, why do I like, no, they already got everything for me. Why would I offer something else? I gave it up my all, right? It's very important to know that residual revenue and upsells are a great piece of your business. And this all comes from loyalty marketing. How do you relate with your customer? Now, when we look at a regular customer journey of, has anyone seen like a customer journey? Like, do you know how kind of like the steps that are inside of it? Like usually the first one is like attraction, like, like awareness, then attraction, then engagement, then there's consideration, right? So when people consider if they buy or not, they don't buy with you, then there's a purchase, then there is the experience itself, and then the retention comes at the end, right? So that's how your regular customer journey works. Like, the reality is, when we're thinking with a loyalty mindset, that it's what I'm teaching you today, to start thinking with a loyalty mindset, retention does not start after this experience has happened. Loyalty starts from the moment people consider purchasing from you. So instead of in step 7, we start on step 4. And as the word says, it's customer relationship management. It's about how you treat your customers. Now, I have a lot of people, I work usually teaching people, coaches, how to run retreats. It's something very specific. Not everyone is ready at the same time to start hosting retreats, right? I could push them and push them and push them and be all about like, no, you need to do it now. Now is the time. And maybe they're not ready. If I see that they're not ready, I'm going to build a loyal relationship with them, because at the moment that they tell me, you know what, this is not the right time for me, I will say, awesome, great. Whenever you're ready, I am here for you. And you know what? 90% of the people who say no to me at that point, they come back and they hire me 6 months later. Why? Simple. They know that I see them, that I'm not just taking their money for the sake of taking their money, that I care. Loyalty marketing is all about caring. Who wants to care for their clients? Give me some hands. Yeah. Who wants to care for their clients deeply, deeply, deeply? It is so important to care for them, because you're changing their lives, you're helping them, you're supporting them. They're not just another paycheck. They're a human being, and you want to show them that you care. That may be not offering a product in that moment, or offering another product that will serve them at the stage where they're at, right? So when we're thinking about like retreats as well, right? Some people have hosted retreats, so they don't need to learn the logistical pieces of how to run a retreat, but they will come to me because they really want to upgrade their profitability, right? If I was just set on saying like, the only way you can work with me is this one, where you have absolutely everything from start to end, I would not be being of service to them. Does that make sense? Think about it now for your business. And please write an example in the chat. How do you bring loyalty or care into your clients currently today? And at which stage of the process do you start caring for your clients? And I know sometimes it's very hard when we are in this space that we start getting a lot of rejections and a lot of no's, and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I spend an hour talking to this person? It's easy to feel deflated. But the reality is that, again, we are in the service industry. That's why for me, the transition from hospitality to this space was easy, because I'm used to serving people. I was a server. I started as a server at Marriott. That's how I started my journey. And 3 years later, I was in the corporate office because I served, because I kept showing up and I kept learning and I kept putting myself out there in front of others so they could see me. Yuli, annual holiday party. Absolutely. Can you do something as simple as sending them a card? Thank you so much for joining. If you have a high ticket program, can you send them flowers for thank you for joining me? If you have a regular program, like a low ticket or a mid ticket, can you make sure that someone from your team or yourself are sending them a message the minute they sign up saying, hey, thank you for signing up. We saw it. We sent you an email. Please let us know that you received it. That shows care. Yeah. Simple things. It's not about spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. This video I showed you, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to put it together. I'm not saying you have to do that in your business. It's the small touches that make the difference. A lot of my one-on-one clients that keep coming back, it's because 2 years after they've been in my programs, we're still connected. We still message each other. If I see that they have an amazing retreat, I will repost it. If I see they're doing great, I will send them a message and congratulate them. If I see that their copy for their website could use some help, I will ask them, do you want some help? And I'll send them a 5-minute recording video to give them feedback. I always tell people, once you are in my world, you're not leaving. You're part of it. You're staying on for the long haul. I was just in Spain not so long ago, and I actually went to meet one of my students. And I had another student who was also in Europe, and he was like, are you coming to Portugal? Let's meet in person. They were in my programs 2 years ago. Right. So loyalty marketing and customer relationship is all about caring. It's not about upselling just at the end of the program. It's about showing them that they're important, that they matter, that their money is well spent with you. You will see so many coaches right now out here in the market that promise you the holy grail. And then once you pay, you don't exist anymore. You will send an email asking a question and they will not reply to you. They will need support and you'll say like, well, you have to pay so much more. And I'm not saying you have to offer your additional services for free. That's not what I'm saying. But also keep in mind, does a 20-minute additional call with them will make a huge difference and impact in their business. And if they have a huge and different impact in their business, will they be able to grow, scale, and then hire you again? Okay, so let me know in the chat, how are you feeling about loyalty marketing so far? How does it sound for you? Does it sound exciting? Does it sound like, well, maybe, you know, I have my systems, it's okay, we're all good, or I'm already doing it? Important. Yeah, encouraging. Yes, 100%. We want to make sure that we are building community. Yes, Sarah, perfect. Absolutely amazing. I want you to really think about this. How could you embed? I'm not saying add, huh? See the difference in the word embed loyalty into your business. Tell me in the chat, do you have any ideas or any like cool thoughts coming along of things that you could do to embed, right? Embed means that you're putting it all together. It's becoming part of your programs. It's becoming part of your offerings. It's not on top. It's not a bonus. It's part of your status quo. What could you do today to build loyalty with your people? So I love my paying clients, and I also love my clients who have not hired me, my future clients, right? So one thing that I do is actually I have an outreach campaign for the people inside of my Facebook groups. So from time to time, I go out and I send them messages asking them how they're doing. How is the retreat business coming along? Do they need any support? What extra content do they want to see? What are they struggling with so I can help them? It helps me for two reasons. Yeah. So I am very, very nice, but I also like to work smart. Number one is because I get to reconnect with them. And some of them will be like, you know what? Now I'm ready to work with you. And number two, I get to run research. I run tons of research constantly about what's going on in my business. Because the only way to stay on top is to know what's going on. So could you do something like that? Could you connect with all your followers on Instagram? You don't have to do them all in one day, but you could start by sending 5 messages per day. Hey, are you enjoying the content? What's your favorite reel? It's not actually about going out and just directly selling. It's about connecting. And yes, it's about creating a movement, Sarah. You're so right. It's about creating a movement. We all grow. If I improve my knowledge on my business, right? Now I become better, then I can serve my clients better. So they will become better. So they will serve their clients better. See, it's a ripple effect. It's like a domino. So now I gave you a lot of examples of what to do before they are even your clients, right? So how do we start actually loyalty marketing before they even purchase from us? Because a relationship starts from the first minute they meet you, right? Monique mentioned that you have 7 seconds to actually make an impression. It's exactly like that. 7 seconds, sorry. Right? So because we have 7 seconds, we need to make the most out of it. Now, I also spoke about one thing that you can do when someone purchases something from you, right? So, and I also spoke about the part on consideration. So we'll go first with consideration because it's the step before the purchase. So on consideration, I mentioned the space where someone actually says no to you, but you still follow up with them. You still check up on them. You make sure that they're making the right decision and you support their choice. Because at the end of the day, for me, something is very, very important is that people get to choose if they want to work with me or they don't. No one will push them to make any decisions that they don't want to make. Because I don't want someone to come up and be like, oh, you know, Lainey, you convinced me. This is not what I wanted. Also helps with not having people asking you for money back, right? So win-win situation in every single piece of the world. Now, from there, we're going into the space of actually the purchasing fact, right? And the example I gave you is immediately after they sign up, you send them a message saying, hey, we received your payment. Thank you so much. If you don't have the details for all the programs or you don't have your automations done, just a quick note that says, hey, we see you. Thank you so much for being part of this. We love you. You're welcome. This is what's going to happen next. Are you excited? Yeah. And then from there, we go into the space of the experience while the experience is happening. This could be a retreat. This can be an online course like group coaching or one-on-one sessions. It can be therapy sessions. It can be massages, whatever it is. It can be a styling session. How do you embed loyalty in this step of your business? And this is just one example for each step. The way we do it inside of my programs and the way I support my clients is actually by allowing them to figure out exactly what would be the perfect blueprint for their business based on how it is and how it works. Yeah. So here on the experience, how can you embed loyalty marketing? So we spoke, oh, maybe, okay, they just purchased, you send them flowers, you send them a note, you give them a ticket to Tahiti, whatever you choose to do, right? You can go as wild and crazy as you want, as long as you're budgeting for it. Well, the experience is happening. You want to be able to provide a support system for your clients where they know you're there. But also something that is very important is that you set the scene for the experience. Because if they know what's going to happen, they will be more loyal to you. So for example, When I run my courses, I love to provide extra support. There's always a group chat where people can come and ask their questions. They can throw their things at, and it becomes absolutely wonderful. And because it's always like small groups of 8 people, we get to know each other deeply, 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 from the moments of like the resistance and to the moments of the joy when people are selling out their retreats. But I do not like to work on weekends. Sue me. I do not like to be on my phone on weekends. I usually turn it off. So what I do to create loyalty and a relationship where people know what to expect, that from the beginning, I tell them, this chat is open. I am so excited to be here. Please note that on the weekends, I switch my phone off. So I'll get back to you as soon as possible. For example, I've had a lot of clients from Australia. Has anyone had a client from Australia being in the US? Or like I have clients in Dubai. I have clients in Lebanon. Yeah. Time difference, huge, right? It's like 9 a.m. here, it's 6 p.m. there. Like you want to have a meeting, they want to have meetings at 10 p.m. Building loyalties by saying, hey, I'm going to get back to you as soon as I can. But please do not expect me to reply at 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah. So during the experience, setting the scene is very important to actually create loyal customers, because if they know what to expect, they're not going to get upset with you. Yeah. It's about setting boundaries everywhere though, isn't it? Like, isn't that amazing? Like, I remember where I started setting boundaries. It was like such an. All right. Any thoughts on how, like any ideas on how during the experience of your offer, you can provide loyalty marketing, customer relationship management into the space? Type it in the chat. I want to see, are you having some crazy thoughts? I usually do it also by adding a ton of stuff into my programs. Like, not like I have a lot of extra courses and whatnot, but I will just provide the ones that I feel they need. So if someone needs my pricing program, I'm going to give them my pricing program. So if they're struggling with that, so they know that I care, because I freaking care. It's not fake. I'm not making it up. I care for my clients very, very deeply, but I'll make sure that they have the tools that they need. Yeah, Susan, you have clients that return. Amazing. Really, if 96% of people are coming back to hire another coach, we should all be having return clients. Unless we're solving a problem that doesn't need to be solved ever, ever again, or there is no value ladder of your offerings. That's another thing. It's a completely different topic, but it is important, right? Also, when it comes to clients, you can have a 50 to 70% retention rate when loyalty marketing is done properly. What would that mean? Let's say, and if someone wants to add in the chat and be like honest and vulnerable about it, what would you say if you added a 50% of your income from return clients? How much money would you be making? So if you're in the 5K mark, you would be making 7.5K by adding a loyalty marketing strategy into your business. The bottom one, because you can go up to 70%. So when you have a loyalty marketing strategy in place, you should be having a 50% return of clients, or them upgrading and up-leveling into your next layer of offers. So if you're making 5,000, you could be making 7.5. So you're leaving money on the table by adding a strategy that doesn't cost you any money to run. If you're in the 10K mark, you could be making 15K. How does $5,000 extra $5,000 a month and less hours of work sound to all of you? Type a 1 in the chat if you agree, if that sounds great. Yeah. Magic-tastical. Yeah, right? Imagine. And even if you're on a higher level and you don't have a loyalty marketing strategy, you want to have one. A proper marketing strategy that takes people through a journey. Not one when you one day wake up and you're like, oh, today I'm going to send a card, and then tomorrow I'm not going to do it. And the next day, because your business has to be consistent. You need to be able to set systems so you can actually grow and scale your business in the future. I like to send handwritten notes, but I do it for my like high ticket clients. If I were to do it for my like programs where I have like 500 people, it would be a lot of work. Could I actually like manage to do that in the time frame? I can't, but I can do something else for them, right? So it's about figuring a strategy based on the value ladder, the offers that you have. How does that resonate with any of you so far? Is that something that sounds interesting to add into your business? Do you, or tell me, if you already have a loyalty marketing strategy inside of your business, who has one? Even if it's not completely like pinned out. Yeah. Okay. Susan. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. I want to reinforce the importance of having a loyalty marketing strategy in place and bringing people through your value ladder inside of your business. It can be a deal breaker for your business. It changes the way it works. Again, you don't have to be searching for so many new clients all the time. So less time, less work, less money, because let's face it, acquiring a client is not that cheap based on time and effort. If you're running ads, you can be having like conversations for someone to come into a retreat. They can cost up to like $60 per person to start a conversation, not to close the client, to just have someone saying, I want more details. So imagine if you could save those $60. Usually a lot of people for high ticket clients, if I remember correctly, the last numbers I saw, it was like the acquisition cost was around $300 per person, per client. That's why selling single one-on-one sessions is not a great business strategy. Because then you have to do it all over again. I remember at the beginning, I was selling it like packages of like 4 sessions, 8 sessions, and I was like, And I had to ask myself this question. Are my clients really getting what they need by me offering and being able to offer them like a single session? And the answer was no. I remember I used to have these one-on-one sessions, like just a simple 1 hour, and they would try to squeeze absolutely everything that I've put together for the past 18 years of my life in 1 hour. Did I feel good about it? I didn't. Did I still do it? Yes, because they were there and I wanted to serve them. Did they actually manage to go and implement all the information that they took away from me? They didn't. So that's why single one-on-one sessions don't really work from a like business perspective. But I'm going to go back into the loyalty marketing because it is possible to sell from one session a package afterwards. All right. And this is where we go into the space of retention. So this is the last step inside of a customer journey, retention. That's where most of the people focus their loyalty marketing efforts because they're not bringing loyalty marketing as a mindset, as a piece of the whole business, like the complete business, right? And I spoke from the space of like actually the consideration, but I bring an install like loyalty marketing from the awareness. From in every single piece of my business, there's loyalty marketing inside of it. Do you have loyalty marketing inside of every single step of your business? Yes, no. Give me something to work on. Right? No. Most don't feel bad. Most of the people don't, because loyalty marketing mindset is not something that we're really taught in this space. We're taught marketing, we're taught outbound marketing, we're taught inbound marketing, we're taught social media marketing. Loyalty mindset, not so much. Because there's not so many specialists actually out there talking about loyalty marketing, to be honest, in the coaching space. I haven't found many. So it's something that I am really, really passionate in the space, that I bring it into every single thing that I do. Because for me, it's not a choice. It's part of what I do and how I do things. And I want you to have that opportunity as well. I want you to be able to instill loyalty mindset throughout your whole business so you can increase your revenue by 50 or 70%. You can keep your clients coming back over and over again by creating a value ladder of offerings inside of your business. Now, when we're talking about retention, and this is a great place to actually make a very good amount of money, is when you are finishing a program and then you offer them something to stay on board. But the reality is that for them to be very, very likely to stay on with you is because you have instilled this loyalty mindset throughout the place. So let's imagine a worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you're here, right? And you have your clients, they sign up, you send them one email, you forget about them until the program starts. Then the program starts, you're there, but you're not really there, right? You're just showing up for your hour, and then, you know, you don't really tell them what to expect or how they can communicate with you. And then the last session of the program is coming along. And you're like, so thank you so much for being part of this program. It has been absolutely wonderful to have you. If you want to continue working with me, this is the next step or the next program. The reality is because they feel neglected and we are touching into the abandonment wound, the numbers that usually people will have without a loyalty mindset or loyalty marketing strategy inside, it's a 20% retention rate. So you can increase that to 50 or even 70% retention rate if you bring a loyalty marketing strategy inside of your business. And that's what I want to teach you if you're open to actually bringing that into your business. And I have this special offer for all of you here in the Wild Women Summit. And this is only for you because this program, I usually sell it for like $1,500, and it's a 6-week group program. It's a miniature program in the sense that we're only 8 people maximum into the space where we come and we see about how to instill loyalty mindset in every single piece of your business. And we bring you as case studies to actually build it for your business in a way that's personalized. Anyone interested on that? Is anyone curious to oh, maybe I could talk about that. Maybe that will be something that I want to add into my business. Does it sound worth bringing you know, a 50% increase on your retention rate? Okay, Sarah, amazing. All right, so I'm going to drop the link here. The program for the 6 weeks is $555. This is a special price just for you inside of the Wild Women Summit. No one else will get this price, so take advantage of it because I never put my prices so low, but I really want to make sure that more people are bringing loyalty mindset into their businesses. So this is a link to actually go directly and sign up for the program. We're starting in mid-October. 6 weeks of amazing journey with me where you actually get personalized support because, as I said on the business transfer coaches yesterday, no more cookie cutter strategies. I don't do that. I don't teach that. I don't support you in that way. So if you want to learn how to bring loyalty mindset into your business, that it's a personalized approach where you get to find out how does that work exactly for your business, sign up for this program now. Don't let more money pass through your hands. All right. Does anyone have any questions about loyalty marketing and loyalty mindset? And how does that work? Or why there's all this huge growth in loyalty marketing, my marketing programs, all the airlines, supermarkets, hotels, coffee shops have loyalty marketing programs. And this is just one piece of it, right? It's the points program. It's the 10% out of the whole loyalty marketing spectrum. Any questions? Any comments? This is your space. You're muted, Christy.
I really appreciate is the mindset piece to this. When I was new in coaching, it's been over 15 years, one of the coaching courses that I took right off the bat, I worked with a coach, one-to-one, private coach, high-end, high-ticket coaching. And she came from a cult background. So she was very much about boundaries, and she taught cult-like, what to watch for cult-like behavior and how to not set your courses up to be this cult-like type thing, which is very prevalent in coaching. And I got it in my head that it was my job to get them aligned and on their way, not to keep them in, because I did not want to create that cult-like environment. And it did me a disservice for a lot of years. And what's been 3 years ago, I ran a beta test for my 3-step profit system, which became one of my main things. And I saw in there that when people would stick with me for the long haul, they're the ones who would get the biggest results, because it is such, your profit systems in your business are deeply, deeply rooted in your self-esteem and your mindset. And so the growth every single step of the way, and how much energy and inner work is required just to get the foundation in place. And everybody is just really on their own timeline with that. And you have to be patient. And I noticed that when I got it okay in my mind to upsell. And those who would upsell, stay with me for the long haul, got the best results. But it also opened up an energy with my clients where I didn't have to hold back. I didn't have to be so strict with my boundaries on time and this and that. And so I really love that you address this as a mindset, because if anybody else has had those courses or those coaches who are super about respecting your boundaries and alignment, we can get that kind of distorted with offering something that's a service to people. And I was actually doing a disservice to my clients, and then they would have to go find the next thing and the next thing. And now I open it up to where lifetime access to all of my group coaching. So at any point in time, whether it's a new offer or not, you can get on my group coaching, because it doesn't take any time from me. But what happens from that is we're able to keep everything aligned, and then they're ready for the next, the deeper, bigger, more intimate technology and marketing. And so I just wanted to give that perspective, just in case anybody has been in that situation where they're afraid of being cult-like.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this to the table. It's a real fear. And it's not even like, you might not recognize it in your mind with like, oh, it's like a cult, but it's like, I am like, because they're paying me, I'm taking money away from them.
Taking advantage of them, different mindsets that you may have in that process. They already paid me $10,000. Why would I ask them for 20?
Yeah.
But that's when they're most likely to spend that 20.
Exactly. Because they know you, they trust you, and they know that they're getting the results. Also, something that I want to add in this space is that everything that I do includes mindset work, because it's 80% mindset, 20% strategy / action. That's why I call it loyalty mindset, right? It is really about instilling a loyalty mindset inside of your business. Feel free to send me a private message if you have any questions that you might not want to share here about loyalty marketing. I'm happy to answer them. If you have a specific case or a question like, oh, what would you do in this case where I'm having this, or I keep having to find new clients every single time, just send me a message. I'm super happy to be an assistant. So, as I said, for me, loyalty mindset is really something that is so important. It's so important that I actually presented a project inside of Marriott to create a loyalty mindset campaign for the employees, because we did not just do campaigns for outside, but we did for the employees. But we used to do for the corporate office. So I ran events for 500 people, but I was like, what about the people on the hotels itself? Are they really understanding loyalty mindset? So I created this campaign. It was a competition. It was called the Elite League, right? Because we're all elite leaders and whatever. And it was the Elite League. And it was all about superheroes. So we had these cartoon mates of superheroes, front office people with the skirts and the jacket and then the capes. And I ran this campaign for 11,000 people to bring loyalty mindset into the hotels. 250 hotels, 11,000 people. This campaign was so great. I won an award for loyalty marketing, and it was taken over by the corporate office in the US to roll it out internationally. So sometimes I don't say that much what I've done to get where I am, because I want to give you so much good information that you can actually tangibly go implement right now. But please know that I am highly, truly passionate about loyalty mindset. And I'm truly highly passionate for you to build and grow and scale your business so you can live that dream life that you deserve. All right. So if there's no more questions, I think I'm done with my loyalty mindset talk. It was so much fun. Thank you so much to all of you for your interactions, for putting things in the chat, for just being part of this, for hearing me out. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I can't wait to connect with all of you deeper.
I loved that. I loved having that aspect and that mindset and that perspective and that opportunity, because it so fits with us being heart-led women. We are leading with heart. And so when we can offer service and value that also benefits our business and creates profit, it's so, so, so important. So loyalty marketing is serving at the highest level in multiple ways.
Wow, what a great episode. If you like our podcast, How to Run Profitable Retreats, leave us a review and share it with a friend.